Just in the last 3 days, we've had a really weird double turn with NASCAR going woke and Starbucks going evil, you know?
What happened with Starbucks?
So today they released an internal memo where Starbucks banned all employees from wearing any sort of Black Lives Matter, anything, t-shirt, pins, nothing.
Yeah, it's bad. While putting out, of course, the statement that's like, we're behind you.
Starbucks, I feel like, has attempted to be woke all the time, and they have never not tripped over their own dick doing it.
Yeah, it was, or when he like almost ran for president, and then we all would have had to boycott them then.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
You know, like a year ago, like they would have been done because we all would have had to just like not go to Starbucks anymore.
Is he still the president, or is he like Papa John's, where he's just like
I think
the figurehead?
He's still the. I think he's still the guy.
Howard Schultz. Ugh.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
But then he got bullied out of it. He got cyber bullied out of running for president, so that was good.
Yeah.
But now it's bad again.
How many people bullied him on his own free Wi-Fi? But then, you know, NASCAR went the other way, and I genuinely don't know how they plan to enforce that. So NASCAR,
it's the same way they enforce any like rule at an arena. They're gonna have people out looking at the stands. Like they do at basketball games and football games in case somebody throws something.
Yeah,
they know who did it.
With NASCAR, it's interesting because so much of the culture of NASCAR is the parking lot scene. So it's like,
is it?
Yeah. So once like the middle of the track, the infield, they can regulate that.
Right.
I think with people bringing Confederate flags and shit. But then out in the parking lot, man, that is it might as well be a fucking Civil War reenactment. Like it is.
Yikes.
So
yeah, I've never been to one, so I don't know that there's that many Confederate flags outside.
Oh, it's their favorite thing.
Okay.
Confederate flags, yeah.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where's NASCAR again? The main
NASCAR is,
I was gonna say field, but it's not a sports game.
Well,
the
It's a
tracks
track.
are all over.
Yeah, they have tracks all over. The famous ones are in Daytona, the Daytona 500, the Atlanta Super Speedway, Raleigh, Charlotte, North Carolina is where they're headquartered. Those are the big spots, but I mean, good for them, but very curious to see what that is going to look like in practice.
And then that one guy quit, but then everyone realized the most he's ever come in was like 33rd place or something.
Oh, yeah. Some guy.
And he's like, well, then I'm done. It's like, my God, who else will come in 28th?
Yeah.
He's also like a truck driver.
Yeah,
he's not even in the actual NASCAR.
Really?
Yeah, he's in the NASCAR truck series.
What the fuck is the truck series? Trucks race?
Yes, it's just something nobody watches, like pickup trucks
No
race.
offense, but that's the most redneck thing I've ever heard of in my fucking life.
Yeah,
well, if you look at them, the trucks they're not quite what you might be imagining. They have these gigantic spoilers on the top.
Why are we racing trucks?
I mean, they do school bus racing in some spots.
Oh my God.
You ever seen that shit, Sam?
I've seen videos of it.
Man, there is
I've never been to the track.
Lee County.
Have you, Rivers?
Lee County Motor Speedway, just on the border between Alabama and Georgia, about 30 minutes east of my parents' house. It's a dirt track out in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, they do all that shit. School bus races. It's like that's where you go to see the real crazy shit. The school bus racing. It turns into rodeo sometimes. They might have you might like. Well, I guess this is more rodeo than NASCAR, but they got monkeys riding dogs. That's always fun.
Oh God.
You ever seen that shit?
No.
Oh, go down a YouTube rabbit hole if you just need an adorable party for a little bit.
Are they both sad?
No,
yeah, of course they are. What kind of
they're having a great time.
They love it.
I think they're both sad.
Animals love it when they're forced to do stuff that's completely unnatural for both of them.
Hey, I think it's cool.
Rivers defends the weirdest stuff on this podcast. I know you probably don't listen to it.
Say every monkey that has ever met a human is so sad. Their life is hell.
They're probably so, but then they get to ride a dog and they're happy.
And you only got to pay $5 a head.
Yeah, and then some
to some animal torture.
What kind of dogs do they ride?
You know, these
Like
are like
Labradors?
like just regular size, mid-sized dogs, but these are like the tiny monkeys,
Like the little spider monkeys riding a beagle?
Yeah, well, maybe a bigger than like a lab or
a beagle can't hold a monkey up on those stubby little legs.
A little monkey, I'm sure it could. That'd be kind of funny.
That would be even more sad.
No,
baby monkey.
It'd be like someone riding a Shetland pony, but
which would also be bad.
But yeah, no, it's there's a bunch of those fun videos, and there's always some lady that goes, "Monkeys ride dogs."
I did see a video yesterday that was the best thing I've ever seen, where there is a tiny raccoon named Governor.
Oh yes, I saw this.
And he is herding goats. He's herding goats by screaming at them.
Yeah.
And he's like legit herding them. Like he's the goat herder, and the guy's just like, "Get him, Governor!" And then this tiny little, like it looks like an especially small raccoon.
I thought it was like some kind of like pygmy raccoon or something,
screaming at the goats and herding them.
Yeah,
and it's so funny.
It's amazing. And my favorite thing about
great.
My favorite thing, and we'll put this on our Twitter so you can see it at The Goods Pod. My favorite thing about the video is you don't see him right away. You just see the herd of goats, and you hear the guy going, "Governor, get him, Governor, get him!"
And then it's it's so good, and the goats are like, "Yes, you're right.
You are our leader."
It's really good. It's a really good video.
It's great.
I thought raccoons were so feral they couldn't be tamed.
I mean, apparently, Governor, he got to figure
I mean,
out.
maybe this is how they channel his, feral nature, because he is the funniest part is that he's screaming at them.
Yeah.
He's just like,
yeah. Just letting them have it.
Some raccoon did that to me.
He's so small, and he just keeps kind of standing up.
Yeah,
and it's so cute.
The raccoon got mad at me like a block away from here.
What did it do?
It did that noise. Because its babies were around, and I was just walking down the street, and I thought I was trying to kill him because I wanted to take a picture because it was too cute.
That's the thing, is one of the greatest tricks of nature is that they're so vicious, but they're maybe the cutest animal ever made. Like, they have these fat little bodies. They're just round circles with tiny little hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're so cute.
They've got opposable thumbs, too.
Yes.
They're really smart.
They're so cute.
It's like
and
if you combined a cat and a dog.
If we could have those as pets, can you imagine? They're so cute.
Well, that's like that. That question. The classic. Would you rather? Would you rather have a duck-sized bear or a bear-sized duck?
What?
Would the bear be trying to bite you?
That'd just be a little well, yeah, but in the way that maybe a dog would try to bite you. You could show domination over it very easily.
I would have a tiny bear.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Whose classic question is this? I've never heard of this question ever before.
You never heard that one? Or maybe it's like a dog, a bear-sized dog, or a dog.
That doesn't change it.
But then you could ride the duck.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could fly away on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of redneck philosopher are you?
I've been sitting in Dodger Stadium parking lot all day waiting on my COVID test, so I've had lots of time to think.
I got one on Saturday.
Oh yes, hell yeah!
It feels crazy when you're just throwing your tube into literally a trash can.
Yeah.
You're just tossing it into a trash can, and somehow that ends up getting you test results.
Yeah,
it feels insane.
The one in LA is you're supposed to cough real big 3 times and then swab it around your mouth. My friend in Georgia told me that he had to get one of the gnarly ones where they stick the long ass Q-tip down the back of your nose and shit.
The OG COVID test.
I'm so happy that we don't have that, but also it seems like somebody else has to administer that. And I don't think you can do that to yourself.
Right. You definitely wouldn't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's how long would that take if someone actually had to do it to you?
Right.
Because the whole point of this one is that they can get hundreds an hour because it's just you're doing it by yourself in your car.
I think they have to hold it in there too. You can't just put it in there and pull it out. They have to hold it in there and swab it around.
God.
That one video they released early on of the guy getting it in the military guys getting it was gnarly as shit. But
anything that involves my fucking nose or eyes, It makes me so creeped out.
You don't
Fuck all that.
Well, you don't wear contacts or anything?
No, that's why I'm always squinting and looking angry.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. My big question with the Starbucks and the NASCAR thing is how long... who does the double turn first? How long...
which one turns back?
Yeah, how long before NASCAR is like, never mind?
NASCAR's not going to do it.
And how long before Starbucks is like, never mind?
I feel like NASCAR would just not enforce it, right?
That's what I'm thinking, too.
Like, they get the good press by saying it, but then they actually don't have the balls to alienate their fans.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think they might actually do it, because if they do that, which they also could do, they're going to get a bunch of bad press after getting a bunch of good press. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that could stop them from wanting to do it.
Although, like, when are they even going to have crowds again?
That's a good question.
You know, like it could be so far in the future.
Yeah, they're definitely not doing races because all the teams are big and they can't like safely get them distanced.
Like the pit crews.
Yeah.
You got to be in very close quarters to work to put
There's
tires on.
a lot of moving parts to NASCAR and like racing in general. I've been to like one race, an F1 race, and I was shocked at how much shit was going on.
Ooh, those are the classy ones. They haven't had Confederate flags forever.
Yeah, they don't like that there.
All I know about racing is the movie Cars.
Oh yeah, Lightning McQueen.
That's all I know.
Greatest champion ever.
No Confederate flags there.
No.
Because as far as we know, no Confederacy.
No. Well, they do have Larry the Cable Guy, which is pretty close.
They do have Larry the Cable Guy. That's true.
He has been known to get her done.
You know, their world might be closer to ours than we think, because I did rewatch it recently. I can't say why. I don't know. I just did.
We're all bored.
It struck me.
You got Disney Plus.
And
you're bored.
One of the Cars' backstory is that she was an attorney in Los Angeles.
Wait, what?
And then wanted a slower pace of life, so she moved to this small town. And it's like, if a car was a lawyer in Los Angeles, then I don't even know what to tell you.
Yeah. Also, why is it called Los Angeles? Then, because then that means that there are angels in this car. Like there's religion in the cars.
True.
There's it raises so many more questions.
Don't say true to that. Don't give River. That does not imply that there's religion.
No, the Cars believe in God.
Yeah.
And that proves it.
Yeah, they have the notion of angels to name a city, El Pueblo Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles. Then that means they got some kind of religion.
And it's like, what are Cars lawyering? You know,
a lot of hit and runs.
Yeah, I was gonna say collisions.
Yeah,
so
thefts.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I can't say for sure that they
drive-by shootings. That means there's drive-by shootings if there's lawyers.
Yeah,
that means there's crime for sure.
Hanging out with that voice, by the way, we didn't introduce you. Hanging out with us today, comedian, co-host of the fantastic Mall Talk podcast, and my roommate, Emily Faye. What's up?
All the way from the room next door.
That's right. All the way from downstairs.
Just sitting on my floor yoga mat, and now here I am. What a whirlwind.
Wow. You went all the way down the hall. Well, yeah. How's everybody's day going? How's everybody's week been?
Fine. I haven't done anything. It's like every day. Every day I come on this podcast and you ask me what I've been doing. It's always nothing.
Yeah.
I ate a hamburger from Fat Burger. And,
ooh.
Yeah.
All right. That's a big day. Did you walk all the way down there?
No, I got it delivered.
Oh,
I got it delivered last night and ate it cold this morning.
No offense, but
I know what you're about to say.
Disgusting.
You don't eat leftover food.
But also a cold leftover burger? Do other people eat that?
Yeah, sure. People in my position.
Rivers, do you eat that?
If you disassemble the burger and heat it differently, then it would be good. I would go,
Rivers, have you ever eaten a cold hamburger?
Yeah, of course.
That's all we needed to know.
Yeah, but I'm saying there would be a way to make it more appealing.
Yeah, by heating it up.
Well, no, but you got to. The crucial part is you got to scrape off them veggies. Those veggies need to be cold still, and then you get the toast. Then you get the buns.
Rivers, nobody was advocating hot lettuce here.
You get the buns. You put the buns in the toaster, and then you put the meat itself in the microwave, and then you're good.
I'm kind of like in this period where it's like the fast food places that I knew were bad to eat at before, but I still did. Now I'm like, oh, I like really cannot morally eat at these places. And so now I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to get drive-through?
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, what, like, because, what, In-N-Out?
Well, I don't eat burgers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So In-N-Out was never really a thing, but it's like Wendy's. I knew they were bad. I knew they donated to the Republican Party, but also they use prison labor.
Right.
For what?
Growing shit.
Growing tomatoes and shit.
I mean, it's...
Prison farms.
That's a huge... Agriculture is a huge... I mean, it's slave labor.
Yeah.
So Wendy's uses slave labor, and I just can't do it, and say that's fine. And then, like, Chick-fil-A, like, I think I always kind of, it was bad, but I justified it by being like, all these companies give to, like, homophobic Republicans, and, you know, people aren't this adamant about boycotting Urban Outfitters or whatever. But now they're, like, anti-Black Lives Matter, and it's like, I really cannot be giving them money. And those were my two go-tos because of chicken. It's all, chicken is all I eat, and so... And I like Del Taco, but if I want chicken, that's not the place.
Sure.
You never go to like Popeyes or...
It's just not convenient.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking like drive-thrus on the way home from work.
Right.
You should have you been to Jollibee's?
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
I could do that. Could be my new thing.
Their chicken's great.
Yeah, Jollibee. Well, the only thing is their chicken is on the bone, and you like the boneless jam.
They
don't do tenders.
They maybe have tenders.
They have to.
I'll look into if they have tenders.
Yeah, I'll say their on the bone fried chicken is among the best in the city.
Hey, I wish I could do on the bone.
Yeah,
I can't
for
do
sure.
bones.
Well, what I'm saying is if they do have tenders, then they're probably going to be pretty good.
I'll look into the tender situation. That could be the new.
Yeah.
For drive-through has been like the way it goes out onto Third or onto Beverly.
Oh, Jollibee?
Is it on Third or Beverly?
It's on Beverly.
It's on Beverly.
Yeah.
Is nuts.
Oh yeah.
It's just like
It's usually busy when I've been there. I haven't been down there since the quarantine
packed, and I'm talking 10 in the morning when I'm going to work.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do they do breakfast? Or?
I think they do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they open at 8. I had to look this up because they actually had Barstool Sports, speaking of a bunch of evil fucks, put out this infographic of like what is the most
I did see that, and I think it was fake.
Huh? Was it? Okay, because they had Jollibee listed in Michigan as the most popular.
Because we were talking, and you know, with all these places just being revealed as evil, even though none of them are surprises.
Yeah,
she was telling me how Rainforest Cafe was trending and how she was like, oh God, oh no. And I was like, yes, I couldn't take it. But it was trending only because on that graphic, they had put Rainforest Cafe for Colorado. But there's not even one in Colorado.
Yeah. It is.
I would think.
Is Paige a big Rainforest Cafe devotee?
Oh, I am.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
Excuse me, it's me.
Yeah, the Michigan Jollibee thing didn't make any sense at all. I was very... Also...
I think that was like them just trying to get trending by being like... nonsensical,
getting people mad,
so that everyone would be like, "What?"
Clickbait that's also incorrect, so everybody starts replying
that's just
to it.
a lie.
Yeah, there was one person because it was Jollibee. By the way, if you're listening to this and you don't know, is like sort of the Filipino equivalent of McDonald's. Like if you go to the Philippines, there are Jollibees everywhere. We have a few of them here in Los Angeles too, and they have fried chicken that they call Chicken Joy,
and a great mascot,
and a very very adorable bee,
and spaghetti,
and ice cream shakes that are layered with cake.
Oh really?
Yeah, they got.
I didn't know about that.
Cake ice cream shakes, all kinds of crazy shit over there at Jollibee. But on the thing, it had Jollibee listed as Michigan's favorite thing. And
that's bullshit because Little Caesars started in Detroit.
Right.
So there's no way that's not the number one thing in Michigan.
Yeah. But this person, I actually retweeted this person at 8-bit Oddfish says, "What the fuck is Jollibee? I've lived in Michigan my whole life. This is not real. I hate it here." Which is so... A guy just fell apart in the middle of his tweet. It's just,
I think I did see it.
It's just like, fuck, why are they putting this in here? This isn't in Michigan. I hate everything.
Have you guys been to Michigan?
I've never been to Michigan, no.
Oh, I've been in the UP as well as the regular part of Michigan.
The part that should be Wisconsin.
Yeah, the Upper Peninsula.
I have not been to most states.
Yeah?
I haven't been to that many. That's why I'm proud about Michigan.
What were you doing in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan?
I have family that lived there, maybe still does, in Mackinac.
Okay.
Mackinac Island.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
I've heard of that for some reason.
The only thing I remember about the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is that is where, in the movie Catfish, where that guy gets catfished, and that's where that crazy woman lives, is in the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, there's nothing up there at all.
Nothing.
Even when you start getting like outside of Detroit and Michigan, there's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It's, I get why somebody would say they hate it there. Completely.
Especially because there's no Chicken Joy.
No.
Let alone regular Joy.
No, and that's where Kid Rock and Eminem live. That's your two celebrities. And Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent, yeah. And ICP.
No.
Yeah.
Insane Clown Posse. Yeah.
And they're the coolest ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, when the Insane Clown Posse is by far the coolest celebrities to come out of Michigan. But Jeff Daniels, he's good. He took a shit in that Dumb and Dumber movie. That was
Did
good.
he ever do anything after that? Or is that all I can remember?
Well, he was a fairly prestigious actor going into Dumb and Dumber. And I think, after that, he
got typecast. Guy who has diarrhea.
I don't even think he got typecast. I think it just...
Was he in the newsroom?
Yeah, he did the newsroom, that Aaron Sorkin show. And he was in Speed. He dies in Speed. They kill him.
I don't remember him being there.
Yeah, he's like Keanu Reeves' partner. He gets shot in the leg at the beginning, and then he's like got a desk job, and then he goes into a house, and Dennis Hopper blows him up. So that was that. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the same year actually. He had a hard 1994. He had diarrhea and was blown up. But yeah, I think that's it. The only reason I remember Jeff Daniels is from there is because they were running commercials before I started paying for Hulu to not have to watch commercials. One of the commercials they tormented me with, in addition to the San Diego one, which was a woman playing a ukulele and singing Bob Marley's One Love.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
They played that over and over, and then they also played an ad for Michigan with Jeff Daniels just being like, Michigan, it's we're here. If you ever need us, we're gonna be right
He's
up here.
there, John Goodman.
Yeah. So,
I love his commercials for New Orleans where he's dressed like a fucking like train conductor and he's going, come on down. It was right after like Katrina.
Oh no, John Goodman?
Yeah, he's from New Orleans.
Oh shit. Okay.
People, I guess that sounds like an old one, but like I feel like when people talk about commercials, I'm like, I haven't seen a commercial in years.
Yeah.
I put ad block on my computer and I never see
I don't watch
anything.
sports.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's like the only time people watch live TV.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It is.
By the way, speaking of sports, I have a fun news story here from this is from Kansas City. If and when professional sports return with limited fans in the seat, there's no telling how it will sound, but a tech startup company is hoping to fill venues with the deafening sound of the hometown crowd with fans at home on the couch.
Like when Zoom shows have the audience not muted.
Here comes the worst idea I've ever heard. Quote, we think it's a great opportunity for people at home who can't afford $1,000 tickets to be part of the noise and be more connected with their team, said Jason Rubenstein with Champ Tracks. The company's newest innovation is something called Hear Me Cheer. It's a free website that allows fans to enable a microphone on a phone or a laptop while watching a live sports stream.
And this was invented by people who have never been on the internet, correct?
We were just talking like 2 days ago about how you can't have a headset on Xbox Live without hearing something unspeakably hateful.
Yeah.
And now he's going to give a bunch of drunk sports fans a microphone that's hooked up to a live TV feed.
I watch U.S.A. on an illegal stream, and if you don't put it in full screen, you can see a chat room, and it's just a race war. The entire U.S.A. event.
All 3 hours?
I'm not joking. It's fucking insane.
Oh
Yeah.
This guy says, if you're alone in your home, what's the point of booing if no one can hear you?
Oh, no.
Because you're drunk and you're angry and you have money on the game. There's plenty of reasons.
But if you know you could be part of something like that, it's a really different kind of thing. ESPN utilized Hear Me Cheer for a boxing event last Tuesday, and the network also featured the technology during the NFL draft in April, and they're in talks with several pro sports teams and networks to integrate this technology into the game. So
this is so stupid.
It seems weird. That
and
seems
also
weird as
just
fuck.
like unnecessary.
Yeah,
it is.
No one cares or asked for that.
No.
Make something that people need. Hey, want to make a fucking vaccine instead of letting people boo from their homes? I know you're the same team. Working on both.
I know you white guys miss yelling racial things at black players, which is a constant problem in real life.
Right.
So I can't imagine when you add the anonymous factor in there.
Oh my God. I hate sports. It's a terrible place.
One of the points that he brings up that's interesting that I read a second ago is he's just like, well, I mean, people aren't going to pay $1,000 tickets. This gives them a way to boo from home. And it's like, maybe make the fucking tickets cheaper. How about that?
Also, why is that the advertisement? You can boo at them.
Yeah,
why isn't it like you can cheer for them?
Yeah, he doesn't say cheer. He specifically says you want to boo at home.
Also, it's always been a thing where most people are watching from home.
Yeah.
So that's not new. Why does there need to be a change now?
It's because people are weirded out at watching sports with no crowd. It's been a thing when the wrestling did it and the UFC does it, and people act like it's this horrible affront to sports. It's really strange. When in reality, once you get over it, it's not weird at all.
Didn't they fill the stadium seats with baseball with stuffed animals?
That was in Korea, I think.
Yeah. That's cute. We should do that.
Well, and also, people are acting like it's weird to pump in crowd noise. The NFL practices already do that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, because they would need to simulate for it being crazy loud and trying to communicate under those circumstances.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So it's not, the players are semi-used to it, but it's just not going to have the parts where something happens and the crowd reacts. It's just going to be like Madden background sound effects.
Well, I mean, shit, in some of these, red states or whatever, they'll probably just be letting people in at 25-30% capacity. So there will be a crowd. It just won't be as...
Because also,
I don't think
sports shouldn't even be happening again. That's too many people on a team.
Definitely not. Yeah.
That's a lot of people. One of them is going to have COVID and they're all touching each other.
That's why they canceled the NBA in the first place. Because 2 players got COVID.
God, I hate them. I hate the NFL so fucking much.
Well, all the sports are handling it poorly.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah. But
they're so evil.
They are, and the only reason they're doing it is because there's a huge demand for any sort of entertainment right now.
Well, and just the amount of money. It's already fucked up how much money it makes because of I don't know. I hate football so much. I think it's insane that it still exists. It's so barbaric.
You guys don't think that they're gonna, in some of those states, try to have football with an audience?
I don't think so.
I don't know. They might, and then
Florida,
just space people out.
It's not going to be financially worth opening up the stadium for people and then having to hire a whole staff to take care of the stadium.
So, I mean,
the UFC's not going to do arenas anymore. The first week they did it, they just had an arena already before they canceled everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to continue to do that because it costs a lot of money to get those up and running.
Yeah.
I bet people will show up NASCAR style and just try to parking lot party. And then I'll get COVID that way.
While it's happening inside? Yeah.
I mean, the fact, it's that, you got tested today. That, of course, there were other testing sites. Fucking Garcetti closed them down.
Yeah,
But the fact that, Dodger Stadium is now just a disease testing site is kind of wild.
Oh, yeah. I was definitely thinking about that while I was up there. I was like, man, I hadn't been to a fucking baseball game in 3 years.
Yeah.
But here I am, middle of the summer. Chilling in Dodger Stadium parking lot, waiting to
Swab in my mouth.
Yeah, waiting to throw my spit into a trash can, just like the last time I was there.
People are living in the Superdome in New Orleans after Katrina.
Fuck yeah,
living.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always bizarre when you go to New Orleans and drive by that thing because that is going to be my memory of it forever.
You'll go places and there's still high water marks on buildings and shit.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
This one I found from this is from Auckland, New Zealand. And I so want to see the menu for this place. The Mexican Cafe in central Auckland, New Zealand, recently received a large stack of COVID-19 pamphlets titled, quote, "How to Keep Yourself and Others Well." Based on the color scheme and the layout, the restaurant management assumed that they were from the government's Unite Against COVID campaign, and they began distributing the leaflets to their customers. Inside, the pages are all canvassed with basic information, general health, social distancing, cleaning, sanitizing, outbreaks, handling illness with COVID or its symptoms. However, a barcode on the back takes readers directly to the website for the Church of Scientology.
Whoa.
Damn.
General Manager Matthew Ferengati said the owner had not been aware that the pamphlets were created by the church, and he was unhappy that the barcode was taking people to the religion's website. Quote, "We are taking them out just because we are not happy about promoting the Church of Scientology at all." And then the last line of this is so funny to me. The University of Auckland Associate Professor Dr. Susie Wiles told News Talk ZB that the most reliable website for information about the current pandemic was covid19.gov.nz. And it's like, why did we need to call a woman at the university to get that website?
The Scientologists are just everywhere.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Don't they not believe in medicine, though?
Drugs, I think, is like psychiatric drugs specifically.
Oh, okay.
I bet it spread so quickly throughout all those people that they have trapped
Yeah.
Oh, God,
on
yeah.
the top floor of that building.
Just the dorms of people who they have blackmail on.
Yeah, where they make them play like musical chairs until they fucking fall over and shit like that. Yeah, no, probably so. But yeah, I just thought that was fun down in New Zealand. They were handing out pamphlets.
Would you ever even like bother to actually scan a barcode on a pamphlet? I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I guess not. But
I can think of like 2 times ever that I've used like a QR code thing.
Yeah, it's like you're just like, okay, I get it.
yeah. Yeah, because they said that even like the layout was because the government uses like yellow as their color in their like official documents and stuff, and they actually went to the trouble of like, well,
It's weird when people try to sneak churchy stuff in on you, like the In and Out will have like Bible verses in small letters and shit.
Yeah.
Who does that work on?
I don't
Like
know.
seriously.
I don't even know with them if it's supposed to do anything or if it's just like
I think it's supposed to just, give
like-
a little nod to their like
Yeah.
Christian customers, like, hey,
like, hey, God, we're doing it.
we're doing this thing.
We're serving them up spicy or original for you, Jesus.
I wanted to talk about the phenomenon. I was saving this from yesterday. Do you know about the Antifa buses?
I don't know about this either.
So
I don't think so.
So there is, as you might imagine, for every small town in America, there are little Facebook groups, private Facebook groups where you can kind of share news and blah, blah, blah. And in the What's Happening in Auburn and Opelika Facebook group that I'm a part of for my hometown, there was one of these stories, and there have been in places all over, where basically they were like, Tiger Town is, in reference to your show, Mall Talk. Our big kind of equivalent of the Grove where I'm from is called Tiger Town. So it's just like big outdoor shopping mall with a bunch of box stores and shit. And somebody on there was just like, I heard that Antifa is bringing buses to Tiger Town to loot.
Oh my God.
Auburn is a town of 50,000 people. Like, there's more fucking people on this street than there are in my hometown. And also all the protests they had in Auburn were in downtown. Like, they were not like Tiger Town is like way the hell out in the south, like out in the far-flung kind of reaches of the city. And but this has been a thing all over, is this conspiracy that Antifa has buses and they are driving them to small towns to terrorize the town.
So this is purely fan fiction that someone
100%
made up, and it's actually catching on.
I bet it's a troll thing, and somebody just posted being like, I bet people will believe, because that's so many things online now, is it like starts out with a troll and then all these like boomers can't see what humor is or just don't know better,
right
and they start thinking plus they're seeing on the news that they're like talking about like bussing in like rioters and shit on like Fox News, so they believe that's a thing.
Well, and a lot of that, if we're telling the truth here, a lot of that was started by Democratic mayors being like, well, most of the people that we arrested are from outside of the community. It's like, and all of those turned out to be inaccurate.
Yeah, they just lied about it.
Like, it happened in Minneapolis famously where like they were like, well, obviously the riots were bad, but the good news is that 80% of the people we arrested are not actually from Minneapolis. And that was
and then
revealed.
There's this weird conspiracy that people are coming in just to like.
Right. Which is basically just a way for liberals to like separate themselves from this movement.
It's also a way to try to act like the people in the town where the riots happened don't have a legitimate complaint and don't care.
Yeah, and then also creating that massive barrier where they're like, there's the peaceful protesters, and then there's these
opportunistic fucking
and it's like
riders.
Or what if it's all part of the same thing and it's completely righteous anger and looting is a legitimate form of protest, but you don't want to talk about that like on your show?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not going to give credence to anything that scares the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
And that's why when it's like one of those things where like they're going to go attack the strip mall. And people are like, oh, fuck. Best Buy, that's where I buy my TV at. Like, what? Why do you care?
And the whole, like, so that people can be like, well, I support the protests, but I just don't think the looting is okay. And it's like, guess what? Get on board, bitch, or you're not on board at all.
You gotta take the whole pill. This is a reaction.
Even if some of it is, like, people who are, like, just causing shit to cause shit, it's like, it doesn't mean it's, like, this much of a divide as you're trying to pretend it is.
Right.
And
like,
it's also pretending peaceful protest gets stuff done.
And that peaceful protest is the only legitimate form of protest.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is that it's creating this thing where it's like, well, they were peaceful, so actually they were good. And it's like, and guess what? Peaceful protest doesn't really get anywhere. And if they weren't peaceful, that would also be completely fine. Like, you can't just put this thick line between the two.
Yeah.
I think it's, I don't know. They know that equality isn't actually possible because if you've oppressed a group to a certain point, they're not just going to, once they be able to stand up the oppression and be like, okay, let's agree on some stuff. We need to make it equal. They're going to be like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, you can't
give us some more stuff.
You can't compromise your way out of 400 fucking years of this bullshit. Yeah. But I did. This is from a rural community in Illinois called Sparta. One Facebook post written by a previously unknown outlet called DC Dirty Laundry claims to have discovered specific plans to bust large numbers of, quote, Antifa terrorists into the small town of Sparta, Illinois, where, quote, they will be directed to target rural white Americans by burning farmhouses and killing livestock. The article names specific routes that the buses will be taking, sourced to, quote, highly reliable individuals, end quote, and claim Illinois was targeted because restrictions on gun ownership have transformed the state into a shooting gallery for Antifa.
Yeah, this is
my God.
definitely a troll.
This is to scare your grandparents.
And like, to be one of those people that would believe this, where you really never have anything to actually be scared of in your life.
Yes.
So you just like make up being like
It's
stuff to
fun.
be scared of. Seems fucking exhausting.
Well, that's the thing. I think for this specific thing,
it's fun for
it's
them.
fun to get your fucking crazy machine gun and go march around. Like that's the most exciting thing that's ever happened in Sparta, Illinois.
The reason all these rednecks have machine guns is because they've been waiting for the day where they feel like they're in danger enough to have to use them.
And they can't fathom that nobody gives a shit about them.
Yeah.
That's what they can't deal with that. It's the same thing with how after 9/11, every small town was like, they're coming here next.
Yeah. My hometown.
And it's like, no, they're not. They don't know you exist.
Yeah.
The first big football game after 9/11 was Auburn versus LSU at 11 a.m. on the following Saturday, right? So that would be the first big football game. And literally on the news in Alabama, they were like, if Osama bin Laden's going to hit anywhere, it's going to be Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama for this sporting event. And like, even then, as like I was like 14 or something, I was like, yeah, I don't think they're coming here for some reason. I just feel like they're probably going to go somewhere else. Probably LA or Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, people just wanted to feel like they were attacked personally.
Yeah. But like I said, this is fun for these people. This is
also,
excitement.
I mean, of course, it's like this idea of Antifa as this organization.
Yeah. It's just
who's
like
paying for these buses?
God, I wish.
Did you guys see the Antifa card meme?
No.
Where somebody like photoshopped a debit card and wrote like Antifa family on it. and was sitting around being like, this is the rechargeable card they pay the rioters with after they go to a new city. And then all these, boomers are sharing it like, you see, I told you.
Here it is. There's no such thing as Photoshop. Here it is.
George Soros.
Oh, that's the best. I'm like, dude, yeah, we all run somewhat lefty podcasts. Where's our fucking Soros check, man? Soros ain't even on the Patreon. What the fuck? So that post was credited to a earlier report from Natural News, a notorious anti-vax outlet that's been banned from posting on Facebook.
Wow, you have to do a lot to get banned from Facebook.
Yeah, it's just
they'll let anything slide.
The Sparta sheriff addressed the rumor on Friday, saying, quote, "We have no evidence leading us to believe that this threat is credible at all." So that's Illinois. Now I would like to go over to Curry County, Oregon. The sheriff there told his department's Facebook followers, quote, and this is the sheriff, "I got information that 3 busloads of Antifa protesters are making their way into the county." Although he added, "I don't know if the rumors are true or not just yet, but I got information about 3 busloads."
Holy shit.
That's the sheriff. And then I love the caveat of like, I'm not sure if this is true. It's like, hey man, well, you're the sheriff. Maybe don't say anything till you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's
good thing he's in charge of criminal investigations.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
The quote continues from the sheriff. They are making their way from Douglas County, headed to Coquille, and then to Coos Bay. Headed
Coos Bay.
Coos, Coos Bay.
Okay.
I was told they were looking for a fight. Don't tell people this, you maniac.
My God.
I did talk to Coos County Sheriff Zanny a few minutes ago, and he is in Coquille with all of his deputies. They are waiting just in case. Sheriff Zanny said there is about 100 local boys there as well, packing weapons, ready to defend the county from Antifa.
This is terrifying.
Yeah. What cop advocates for vigilante justice?
Oregon, what did I say? John Ward of Curry County, Oregon.
God.
I have no information that if what Sheriff Zanny said will happen, but if it does, Antifa could possibly make their way down here. If they do, we'll have all of my deputies and local PD to protect our citizens. Without asking, I am sure that we could have a lot of local boys too.
Oh no. Is there a more terrifying 2 words than local boys?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially in this context.
Just dark as fuck.
I don't think I've ever had any good interactions with people I describe as local boys.
No, it's just like
not in redneck areas.
That's a fucking terrorist organization is local boys.
Yeah.
It probably literally is members of racist organizations.
Oh, yeah, for
sure. Where did Ward get this information? He said that the information was forwarded to him by email from City Council member John Huddle. So,
yikes.
Yeah.
They're out there protecting the citizens.
Quote, "Our attorney forwarded me a post from somebody and I sent it on, and it was sent to him by another attorney, and that's kind of a private attorney."
You know this post was one of those 100 times forwarded emails with insane neon green fonts and graphics.
15 fonts.
And Comic Sans and a weird Helvetica and
broken
flashing.
Yeah, broken GIF links to American flags and shit.
And he's like, we have good authority.
So
we got their flyer.
So that's from the sheriff. Now this is from later that day. A Coos County based news outlet reported today that hundreds of armed residents showed up in Coquille to protect the small town based on what appears to have been a rumor from the sheriff.
Oh my God.
So quote, "When people tell us someone is coming to our hometown, after hearing threats and reading them online, I feel defensive and want to protect my home," said bystander Timothy Robinette. During the hours-long wait for Antifa terrorists, a vehicle drove by while a passenger held a Black Lives Matter sign out the window.
Oh.
At that point, the vehicle was blocked in an intersection by the crowd, and a man wearing the American flag as a cape was seen taking the sign from those in the car and shouting. So, welcome to a horror movie.
Well, that's why you can't even be openly liberal in places like this. People will turn on you so fucking quick.
And Oregon has that same problem problem that California does, where people just assume that it's a bunch of hippies. It's like,
and
nah.
Oregon's one of the worst places there is. I mean, it's the only state that was literally started as a white supremacist state.
Yes, yeah.
Like, and now they have Portland, so people are like, it's fine, even though Portland is also racist as fuck.
Well, yeah,
but
not only that, but like they can have quote unquote local boys show up to any protest,
like,
and they do.
The rest of Oregon, like, this is a fucking nightmare.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah. And this isn't even the real scary one.
Oh no,
it gets worse than vigilante justice.
I mean, it's along the same lines, but yeah. So let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so this one's from Idaho. Multiple posts that circulated Monday on social media spread false information claiming that Antifa protesters were planning riots in the Treasure Valley, according to multiple local law enforcement agencies and other officials. Several posts shared widely on Facebook claimed that local police departments and sheriff's offices had confirmed the presence of Antifa buses en route to Boise, claims that the agencies denied. So, in a Facebook post Sunday, the Real 3%ers Idaho group said that it had, quote, credible intel tonight that Antifa and other groups are planning to riot in the Boise area.
What does 3%ers refer to?
I believe it's a white supremacist thing.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Numbers are never good.
No, they're not, are they?
No, unless it's 6345789. That's the number to Soulsville, USA.
All right, just keep reading the thing, Rivers.
You don't know about Wilson Pickett, man?
No.
If anyone sees a post about my... Oh, yes, this is the best. So this is from Facebook user Justin Muse, who is the owner of Specialty Fleet Services in Boise. So he runs airport shuttles. So he owns some buses. Quote, if anyone sees a post about my bus, please flag it and get it taken down. Nolan was driving home from work and somebody posted that it's full of Antifa. Thanks ahead of time. Please share around.
Oh, God.
So a guy who owns a bunch of shuttle buses is getting shit thrown at the buses because people think it's Antifa.
What are they picturing when they picture all these Antifa people? They really think Antifa is like an organized...
They think it's like anarchists who wear black and like fucking communist flags on their back.
It's a vague concept.
It's a philosophy.
It's not... It's an organization of people with any sort of structure.
Right. It's like the secular humanists are coming. It's like
this is like the communist scare of the 50s. It's just the group they've created. But
communist was a real thing.
Yeah, but Antifa's a real thing, but they just don't understand what it is.
There's that thing where it's like they'll just call anyone a communist. They'll just call anyone Antifa.
Yeah.
And also if you are, it's just like oh my God, that's bad. And it's like again, of course everyone has said this truly so many times, but the fact that Antifa is fucking anti-fascist.
Right.
And they're just like terrorist organization. The anti-fascist.
Right. Here's the horror movie. And this is from Forks, Washington, which, if that sounds familiar to you, that is the setting of the damn Twilight movies there. Forks, Washington. Authorities say a multiracial family camping on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington was harassed and confronted by people who accused them of being political activists with Antifa and trapped them at a remote campsite in the woods.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
The family, a husband, wife, their 16-year-old daughter, and the husband's mother arrived Wednesday in the town of Forks in their old converted school bus. So they've got an old hippy-dippy fun time family band solution school bus, and they roll into this redneck-ass town on the Olympic Peninsula, and they stop to buy camping supplies at a local general store. At the store, and this even has the horror movie trope of like, oh, something's not right at the beginning kind of a thing, as a precursor to what's about to happen. At the store, they were confronted and harassed by 7 or 8 carloads of people who repeatedly asked if the family was Antifa, police said. So there's...
Oh my God.
It's like a family of 4 roll up in a school bus, and they're like, clearly this is Antifa. They're here. Look, one of them's black.
How would you not just be like, we're getting the fuck out of here right now,
dude?
Based off that,
I would be gone.
And it's like,
gone.
Of course, nothing's gonna happen to any of those people because the cops are probably with them.
They're telling them to do it. If those other stories are any indication,
this isn't. We haven't gotten to the scary part. This is just the little flicker of terror at the beginning. So they stopped to buy camping supplies. They're they confront all these people. The family told the group that they weren't affiliated with Antifa, and they had to drive the bus around several cars and out of the parking lot, and then they headed for a campsite off of a logging road about 5 miles outside of Forks. So now they're going to Camp Crystal Lake. The movie is writing itself. As the family got onto the road again, they told police that they were followed by at least 4 vehicles, 2 of which carried passengers armed with semi-automatic rifles. And when they reached their destination, they began to set up tents. And at that point, they began hearing gunshots and power saws. Quote, the family, concerned for their safety, decided to pack up their camp and leave. But as they drove back down the logging road, they discovered that someone had fallen several trees across the road, preventing their exit. So they're just stuck in this fucking campsite with their school bus there.
Surrounded by gun people.
Yeah, surrounded by gun-toting fucking maniacs in the woods in Oregon and or in Washington.
Oh my god.
This part is good and also raises a lot of questions. 4 high school students who were in the area called police, and they used their chainsaw to clear the road. So these high school kids in this part of town, it's such a lumberjack culture that even the high school kids roll around with saws.
Yeah.
So
might have been their parents' truck.
Yeah, good on them. But yeah, they sawed up the trees and cleared the road. Deputies arrived and escorted the family out of town. The sheriff's office is conducting a criminal investigation. In a statement, the executive director of the Forks Chamber of Commerce commented on the incident. Quote, this is an isolated incident and doesn't represent the people of Forks.
Yes, it does.
Bull fucking shit.
Of course it does.
Also, we got no suspects and we do not give a fuck.
Oh, they've got one. I'll put this on our Twitter. So this is from Instagram. John Fletcher has a picture of all of the fallen trees and the bus in the background with the hashtag ForkStrong.
Oh,
that's
my
a nice,
God.
nice self-snitch right there.
It's self-snitch, and how bitch-made is that, too?
This
also
is horrifying.
Yeah, it is.
It's scary as shit, but like, they're cutting trees down. It's like, go talk to them. How about that, you fucking pussies?
God. This is fucking horrifying.
It's horrifying. It reminds me of, there was a it must have been like 5-6 years ago. Bill Burr had an appearance on Conan, and he talked about, because his wife is black, and he was talking to his in-laws who wanted to come to California to like visit him, and he was like, oh yeah, you should do Route 66. There's so many cool places to stop. And he's like, but then I thought about it, and I was like, oh, they're all black. You can't do that when you're black, because if you go to a small town, they might fucking kill you. And that's all I was thinking about when I was reading this. Is just like, yeah, it's a different world.
I'm white, and if I go to a small town, they look at me like I'm there to fucking do something bad.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what
I've been through this
actual
town.
minorities.
I've been through this town. Yeah, I've driven the entire Olympic Peninsula, and it's gorgeous up there, but my God, it's desolate.
It's not surprising in any way, but like literally a bunch of white supremacists, it sounds like some of them probably were gonna kill them.
Yeah.
Because
they probably had to be talked down by the semi-sane ones.
Their quote-unquote moderate friends had to talk them down. Yeah.
And the fucking police, like, know who did it and are friends with them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. The police probably spread the information, and then it got real, and then they had to be like, oh, God, because like I was saying, if they got talked down by their moderate friends, in this case, that would be the cops. The ones who actually have a license to kill have to be like, okay, let us take care of this. Let us shoot the Antifa bus, please. So,
it's fucking crazy.
That horror movie right there. It's written. You don't even have to got to do anything to it. It's
Jesus
it's
Christ.
already the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Why do scary people just live where nobody else lives? I mean, it's a good thing, but why does that attract them so much?
It's like chicken egg, right? Because it's like those they just are white supremacist communities.
They're raised
so
that
it
way.
Creates more white supremacists.
Yeah. Well, the Olympic Peninsula too is, first of all, I've been there. It's gorgeous to drive through, but the main thing you take away from it is how just desolate it is, because it's the peninsula that kind of is set, like if you go to Seattle, across the sound is the Olympic Peninsula. And the first town you got to drive through to get up there is Aberdeen, which is where Kurt Cobain is from. And Kurt Cobain, in all of his like writings about his early youth, talks about how many fucking skinheads and white supremacists there were like at his high school and in that area. They're just everywhere up there. And you are very aware of how alone you are when you go up to like Ruby Beach or any of those places up in Olympic National Forest. You're fucking in the middle of nowhere.
Is the Pacific Northwest hell? Like, I feel like the darkness there is just...
Yeah, it's a beautiful...
It's hard to even, like, communicate. Like,
I think
how fucking dark it is.
The bad part is that if you get outside of a major city, it usually becomes like that pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's like Seattle and there's Portland.
And I just mean everywhere in the United States. There's almost.
California, too.
So anyway, not that I don't think there's any like reactionary shitheads listening to this podcast, but if there are, leave people in happy hippie school buses alone. They're not Antifa. We're all Antifa and we don't have a bus. All right.
People who drive around the country in old school buses are a different type of weird. They're not Antifa.
No, they're fine. And usually they're probably pretty interesting, and they're, It
might smell like patchouli, but you got to look past some stuff.
They're the kinds of people who say shit like, hey, man, we all love each other, and all they've got is fear, man. And they're right.
Yeah, that's true.
So leave the hippies alone. But yeah, so you guys got anything else for today?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't think so. I haven't been doing anything interesting.
Yeah,
me neither.
I asked people for if they had any good recipes. Y'all been cooking anything recently?
I make the same thing all the time.
I don't cook.
I think both of y'all was doing pasta pretty recently, right?
I was doing some pasta with sauce, and then I gave that up because it's impossible to make the right amount of pasta. You're scared of making too little because you have to wash all those dishes.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'd be disappointed if I was still hungry after.
Yeah.
But then you make too much, and then you have to eat it.
Yeah.
And I was getting really frustrated with this constant pattern.
You're right.
So I just stopped making pasta.
Yesterday, I did the too little on accident. I went home, I made fettuccine Alfredo, except I used macaroni, elbow macaroni instead, because that's all I had.
Oh, so it was just a white macaroni and cheese, basically?
It was great.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I love Alfredo sauce. Anyways, I made way too little pasta. I was hungry in like 20 minutes. It sucked.
All I know about pasta is they say that the slotted spoon, the little hole in the middle, if you're using angel hair, you shove the angel hair through the hole, and whatever sticks in there is about a one-person serving of angel hair.
But I feel like servings are a lie.
That's true.
Yeah,
right?
You can't tell how hungry. My guess is usually whatever I put in the boiling pot, it's going to come out like twice as big. And that's usually true.
That's true.
Yeah. I get no joy out of cooking. It takes so long, and then it's gone in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're just left with a bunch of dishes. But also, I'm back at work every day.
Good. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and there's one place that opened maybe 2 months before quarantine, a block away from my work, that I became obsessed with. And then I got in this awful pattern of just getting $17 lunches every day because I loved this place, and I was like, I have to stop. Every day I would be like, I can't keep doing this, and then every day I would keep doing it.
What was the meal?
What was it? Yeah,
it's this place called Commonsea. It's nothing special, but it's just their food is really solid. And there's a sandwich I love, and then there's this chicken rice bowl thing I love.
Okay.
Nice.
And I'm getting back into this pattern.
What kind of sandwich is it?
There's this one sandwich that's turkey, scallion mayo, green apples, and cheese. And it's delicious.
Ooh, God, that sounds...
It's really good.
Damn.
It's $17 though.
No, it's that one is $12.50, but then if I get an iced tea plus tip, it just really adds up.
Food here is so expensive.
It's so expensive, but I think even though in normal like if I'm just home all day, I can go until 7 p.m. without eating. But if I'm
That's
at work,
crazy.
I don't know.
That's no breakfast.
I never eat breakfast.
Okay.
But if I'm at work, you're like, you need something in the middle of the day.
Right.
You need a little treat.
Yeah.
And like bringing something from home doesn't feel like a treat.
No, it's not.
So,
no, you're right.
But it's like, you're like, I'm bored. I want something to look forward to at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah.
A little sandwich, that would be very fun for me.
How
What
late
are you
is
gonna
this?
What are you gonna do on your break? Just do nothing? Have you ever done that on a break? Just do nothing. You go back to work and you're like, I'm doing nothing at work. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
I've fallen asleep and just slept for a whole break.
That sounds fine.
That's an all right one. Damn, I want this sandwich now. I was thinking about.
It's really good. And their bread is incredible.
Okay.
I love this place. I'm obsessed with common. See?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna give it a try. I want to also attempt to make scallion mayo now.
It's so good.
That sounds easy. That sounds pretty straightforward.
That's what
true.
I think. Yeah. I might grow some scallions. I don't know.
I'm surprised you.
I got room on that wall for one more long planter that might do some green onions in or something.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So
Lots of uses.
yeah.
I always cook the exact same things.
Yeah.
I buy chicken leg quarters. I cover the top of them in Tony's.
Yeah.
And then I bake them in the oven.
Hell yeah.
And then I make rice and sometimes lentils and other vegetables, broccoli or asparagus.
Nice.
I just eat that all the time because it's cheap and it's somewhat healthy.
Yeah.
And it's boring enough that you don't want to eat a bunch of it.
Right.
You know, if I make something that tastes really good, it'll be gone quick.
Yeah.
I was like when I was just home, I was good about just eating like my groceries and stuff.
Yeah.
And like then I would just get food from out if I was already out, which wasn't happening very much. But
Right.
now that I'm out every single day, it's very hard to resist.
Yeah. The
Just
temptation is there.
Getting something.
Yeah.
The stupidest thing I've done, which I'm just like, this is ridiculous, is a couple times on my way home from work, I've like gone to Paris Baguette and just gotten like 4 things.
Yeah.
Like 4 pastries.
Oh, like pastries, like danishes and shit.
And then I'll eat like 2 that night and then 2 the next day. And it's like, this is insane.
No, that sounds great.
When you go to a place that sells pastries, can you really buy one? It doesn't make any sense to go and buy one.
I feel like just going on that mission, just purposely going to be like, I am going to go buy 4 pastries. I shouldn't. I'm an adult.
You're supporting the local economy.
And there's something about just spending money that hits the serotonin release in your brain.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It really
absolutely.
does.
Yeah. So I was asking if anybody's got any recipes. This is from our friends at the Apocalypse in Review podcast at ApocPod. Says that they've been getting into honey cayenne fried chicken finished on the smoker for 30 minutes, which I've never heard of doing that, but that sounds...
With fried chicken?
Yeah.
That sounds strange.
Yeah. Well, it looks like, based on the picture, the chicken doesn't appear to be breaded. It looks like he fried it like buffalo wing style.
Oh, okay.
Which I've heard of someone doing that the other way, where you smoke a chicken wing and then fry it for like 2 minutes just to get it seared. But I don't know. And then he says he's been doing a lot of cheese and pork pupusas lately. And I was saying that I love a pupusa. The problem with pupusas, though, I've always wanted to know how to make them, but it's a problem with motivation because we live a block away from a great Salvadoran place. And it's like, if I want pupusas, I can get them for $2 made, dude. Way better.
I bought a bag of masa and I was like, I'm going to make my own pupusas. I did it like twice and I was like, I fucking suck at this.
Yeah, I'm just going to let the professionals handle it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
one thing
cheap.
where it's like, it's incredibly affordable. It's literally 2 blocks away.
Yeah, they're $1 on Wednesdays. $1 pupusa Miraculous.
And you don't need that many.
No.
Like, there was one time where I was really hungry, so I got like a bunch, and then I was like, wait, I can't eat all of these.
Yeah. It's like a 2 pupusa max.
Yeah.
3 is crazy usually.
This one's from at It's MLP. Take equal parts peanut butter and honey, mix together until smooth, add sriracha to taste, and mix again. Throw that shit on a burger with caramelized onions and bacon
On a burger?
to thrill your friends and make your enemies begrudgingly admit, quote, was pretty good.
No.
Peanut butter on a burger?
I've heard
Peanut butter, honey, and sriracha.
I've been hearing that.
I'm just listening to the peanut butter part, and I say no.
I've been hearing about the
Gross.
peanut butter burger a lot recently. It's a thing. I would never eat that
I feel
in a
like
million
peanut
years.
butter and meat don't go
As
together.
soon as you say half honey, half peanut butter, that's just diabetes in a spread.
Well, sure.
That's so much sugar. Peanut butter is already so sweet.
I've had a not this particular thing, but in Atlanta they have the comedy club The Laughing Skull, which is in the back room of a hamburger place called The Vortex, and one of their burgers they have there is the Elvis burger, which is fried bananas, bacon, and peanut butter on top of a burger. I've had a couple of those. Those are pretty damn good.
You're weird.
You know.
Let's judge him, Emily.
I asked at It's MLP, I said, big question, spread this mixture or dollop? And he says, spread for me, dollop for others. God is dead and there are no rules. So,
I mean, there is no rule. He's right about that. You can eat whatever you want. Everybody likes different things. But also, everybody dislikes different things.
You know, that's true.
Like
I'm
that.
going to give it a try. Next time we're grilling.
All right. I'll watch you do it.
You won't sample?
Oh my god, I just realized I forgot to get chicken sausages from Trader Joe's last time I went shopping again.
Oh shit.
I keep forgetting. It's the only meat I'll really deal with in the house because it's cooked already. I'm very squeamish and I don't like touching meat. But I won't become a vegetarian.
It's hard to give up.
I'm like someone else touch it for me.
Don't you like turkey pepperoni though? You'll
I
just
do
eat
love
that.
I think because it's so like I don't know, it's not wet.
It's cured.
You know when meat gets wet?
Yeah.
I got a big question.
Yeah.
Because we got outside, we're sitting about a week and a half away from a shit fuck ton of tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
Do you do a BLT with turkey bacon?
I would do it with turkey bacon
All
because
right.
I'll eat turkey bacon.
Hell yeah.
Turkey and chicken.
Okay,
That's what I eat.
Yeah.
No
And
fish.
I eat fish. Yeah. But
I just meant the BLT because
oh yeah.
we're about to have a bounty of maters, so I'm gonna be eating BLTs all summer. I cannot
Nice.
wait. Cannot wait. But in the meantime, we'll be doing some fried green tomatoes here while they're still green.
Goddamn, I love that.
Yeah. So
That's the best.
yeah. So got that to look forward to. I'm excited about my garden. Got some big cucumbers. Gonna make some Disgraceland pickles again.
Do you have more plants than last year, or is it the same amount?
I think it's exactly the same. Just
Okay.
last year, a bunch of my crops failed because I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
This
But
year,
now you're a farmer.
now I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer, Daddy. I'm
Watch
a
out,
farmer.
dude. Antifa's coming to burn your shit to the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for, I think, plants to thrive in this air that's giving us cancer.
Yeah, sure.
MK Paulson said a similar thing about the garden a couple days ago.
This point has been raised. It's okay.
Simon has that joke about eating an orange from the side of the road.
Oh, and it being a terrible orange.
Yeah. He said the worst fucking orange he's ever had in his life.
I think I know what tree he's talking about too. It's right where Middlebury meets Virgil, right there. There's that big ass orange tree.
Do you guys
yeah.
talk about the specific feral cats we have around here?
I see him all the time.
I don't know if we've talked about the cats. Go for it.
Oh, I don't know. There's just one that I want.
Which one?
It's like black and white with green eyes, and
Whoa.
it's small, but I don't think it's a kitten. I think it's full grown, and I see it under a car sometimes, and I love her.
So the people across the street from my apartment have like outdoor cats. So they seem feral, but they're not, and they're so cute.
Yeah.
I think this one's feral because it's pretty dirty. But
No, the outdoor cats are filthy. There's one that's white and it's gray.
I mean, I guess like it's hard to wash a cat.
Yeah, an outdoor cat especially.
Yeah.
I love the cats because they're like,
We have pretty cats around here.
There's-
Like none of them are just boring gray cats.
There's
They're
an
all
orange
pretty.
there's an orange and white one that I see hanging out in the garage sometimes too.
They're all like cute cats.
the white one is fluffy and it doesn't care about getting rained on, and
Oh,
it'll
I've
run
seen
around
that one.
and it's like belly fluff is all
Yeah.
wet, and oh, it's so fun.
There was one time, bringing it back to raccoons, where I was parking outside. This was a while back, and I looked over, and out of like the gutter, I saw like a body come out, and I was like, "That is a fat cat. And then it was a raccoon. And it kept just coming in and out of the gutter. Like it was just crawling in and then like pulling its body out, and it kept going in and out, and then it stared at me, and then it ran like it seemed like under my car, and then I was afraid to get out of my car for a very long time. And I was like, damn, I should have gotten out when it was across the street.
I wonder if the feral cats and outdoor cats kill the mice outside the judo place.
Well, they're not doing that great a job on our patio, that's for sure. I don't know. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a rat, I think.
Yeah. There were really a lot.
Yeah.
There were a lot of them.
I guess it was those outdoor swimming pools, the inflatable swimming pools.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Motherfuckers. Yeah, so anyway. Emily, thank you so much for joining us. Please tell people where they can find you and your wonderful podcast you do with our friend Paige Weldon.
I am online everywhere at Emily Faye. And then, yeah, I have a podcast called Mall Talk, and it's about the mall.
The mall, yeah.
We talk about the mall, which is kind of hard right now. But
with all the malls being either closed or on fire.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The mall was always my parents' favorite babysitter.
Exactly. And that's the case for a lot of people.
Did they just drop you off there?
Dude, fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
They could buy like 3 or 4 hours of doing whatever by themselves.
Yeah. Particularly like bookstores.
Yeah. That's where I was always at in the Goosebumps section, looking at the damn Goosebumps there.
My mom left me at Blockbuster for like 45 minutes once. Don't laugh.
It ruined me.
The Blockbuster employee asked me if my mom left me there.
I'm yours now, sir.
And I was just like, yeah. And then he just sighed and walked off.
They probably are like, fuck, we're responsible for all these kids. I didn't sign up for this. We have to watch out to make sure no one's stealing you.
I bet it's not the first time that's happened.
No.
The way he dealt with it was just like, God damn it.
Well, yeah, definitely give Mall Talk a listen. It's one of the 3 podcasts that records in this apartment complex.
Yes, every couple of days I go, Rivers, can I use the Zoom, please?
Wait, what's the third one?
Roommates for Life, MK and Simon.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant in this literal apartment.
No, in the apartment complex. Okay. So I got Goods from the Woods, Small Talk, and Roommates for Life there. So
cool.
Yeah, they're all a lot of fun. So you can get the full experience of what it's like to live in East Hollywood.
This is so dumb. It's like we're the only apartments. We're just a bunch of fucking gentrifier shitheads, and then we're just like, also we record our podcast.
Yeah. Although, you gotta have money to be a gentrifier.
Yeah, you're only a gentrifier if you can afford a way better place, but you choose to go to a poor neighborhood because it's cheaper.
I'm exactly at what my economic means will allow right now.
Dude,
on it.
I was paying $800 for another place at one point. I was like, fuck, this is going to destroy me.
Well, hell yeah. Give Mall Talk a listen. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley.
I'm at Slam Harder. On both of those things.
And of course you can join us on the Patreon, patreon.com/thegoodspod. We're having a new episode with one of your movies you requested. I forgot which one I want to watch, but we'll be doing that on Monday.
It's one of them.
It's definitely one of them. So do all of that. Find us on Twitter at thegoodspod, and we will see you